There is a new secret Tesla upgrade, but you're not gonna find it there, and you're not gonna find it there. It's gonna take a good old-fashioned phone call to get the ball rolling, but once you do, for 2,000 bucks, you can actually get quite a significant upgrade to your Tesla as long as you have the right model. Now, Tesla has not been shy on adding many really cool features through free over-the-air software upgrades. Cars have basically transformed seemingly overnight thanks to those free software downloads that can add a lot of new additions to your car. Heck, my Standard Range Plus, I've talked about this before, is a totally different car today in 2021 than it was when I got it in May 2019. I didn't have a browser, I didn't have satellite maps, I didn't have streaming music. All of that is now in and free thanks to a software update. And there are even additional updates and different features you can unlock if you're willing to pay. There's the acceleration boost, there's rear heated seats in the Standard Range Plus, and yes, of course, there's full self-driving for $10,000. But there is another update that you can actually do, which was around before, then wasn't around, then is now around again, and that is the ability to upgrade your car from a Standard Range to a Standard Range Plus, which is a bit of a bigger upgrade than it may sound on the surface. And for those of you who don't know, and to make a very long story short, Tesla used to sell a Standard Range Model 3. This was the $35,000 entry-level Tesla that gave users a premium EV experience and a Tesla for as little money as possible. And it is by all accounts still a great car. But what's interesting about this is that it has a very interesting backstory, because basically Tesla was going to make a very stripped down version of the Model 3. It was going to have cloth seats, it wasn't going to have a glass roof and other things removed. But then it seemed like that got a little too complicated for them, so they basically took and sold a Standard Range Plus, but just software limited some features like range and some parts of the sound system and other things like that. If you want a full breakdown of the changes and differences between the Standard Range and Standard Range Plus, check out the video linked up here for a breakdown of that. But essentially you got a cheaper Tesla that didn't include things like autopilot, and it didn't have the immersive sound option, and a little less range and speed, but for $35,000 you got still a heck of a car. And also what's interesting about this as well is that many people who bought the Standard Range had basically the features of the Standard Range Plus. For a while, people who bought the cheapest Tesla got the features of the $40,000 Tesla, and then Tesla kind of got wise to it and turned some of those things off, and software downgraded some of those features. But still, as it remains today, the Standard Range is still a great car, and it spent the majority of its life being an off-menu item. You basically had to call and special order this car, and you basically bought a Standard Range Plus, but with software locked features for a discount. I'm not sure if Tesla is still selling a Standard Range Model 3. I don't know if they're still continuing that or not. But what they are doing now is letting owners once again upgrade from a Standard Range to a Standard Range Plus, all for a little bit of dough and a quick phone call. Now again, because these cars are the exact same in terms of hardware for the most part, then it makes sense for Tesla to allow users to do this upgrade. And many people were just on the Tesla Motor subreddit talking about their experience, basically paying $2,000 and getting a bit more range, a little bit more speed, the immersive sound option in the car. But there's one big difference that you don't get for that $2,000, and that is a big caveat: it's autopilot. Apparently, according to these threads, autopilot is not part of this $2,000 upgrade, which begs the question, well, is it really worth it anyways if you don't get autopilot? Now, I know there are plenty of people who really just don't care about autopilot and would rather have other things, and I guess in that sense, it makes sense. Though, as a Standard Range Plus owner, I'm a little hesitant to recommend anyone do this, because I'll tell you, in my experience, yes, the extra range, that's probably the nicest part of this $2,000 package. The speed is nice as well, though again, it's just a single motor car, so don't expect any miracles to be working here. And then the immersive sound option is a little bit not so truthful. I mean, I'll tell you, in my car, checking that box on and off in my 2019 Model 3 Standard Range Plus really makes no discernible difference, though maybe that's a different case in newer cars. So really here, you're really paying $2,000 for that extra range, because autopilot would make that a much more worthwhile package. Though again, I understand some people just don't want it, so you're basically getting the other things that you'd want from a Standard Range Plus without having to pay the extra money for autopilot. Now, whenever we talk about this, I always think of the idea, and I know this sounds a little illogical, and I know it doesn't make a lot of practical sense, but just bear with me for a second. The idea of basically Tesla producing two variants of the Model 3 or Model Y? What if they produced the performance variant and a long-range variant? And that way they could save money on production costs and logistics of building multiple cars, because they are the exact same materials inside and outside, the same paint colors, basically the same options besides wheels and stuff like that, but they just software lock features. Wouldn't it make some sense, and I know again, not 100% logical, but some sense that they could build a long-range Model 3 and just software lock the motor down, software lock the range, software lock some of the speakers, and then sell that off as a standard range plus for $40,000, and then have the option to unlock that at a later date through a software update and some numbers of your credit card. Doesn't that just make sense? Because I know for me, and I think for many people who have a standard range plus, we love the car, but if given the option to upgrade some parts, we would. And I think this would be a great way for Tesla to make a little bit of dough on the side, is by giving users the option to upgrade some of their parts. So you can basically buy the car at a discount, but then 2 or 3 years later, when you're wishing you had a little extra range, you could pay that money and buy some of these features a la carte. This also raises the question about maybe Tesla allowing users to buy features a la carte. We've talked about this with full self-driving before. What if you could just buy auto lane change, or just buy navigate on autopilot, or just buy auto park? Would it make sense for Tesla to kind of debundle some of these features and services and sell them a la carte? Would that be better in terms of generating revenue, or would that just be overly complicating things and just not worth the headache of all the logistics involved? Anyways, I was just curious to hear your thoughts on this. What do you guys think about this whole idea? Even if it doesn't make a lot of practical sense, would you support Tesla building basically 1 or 2 variants and then just software locking those features down for users to buy at a cheaper price and then buy back later? Do you think the current model works just fine? What are your thoughts on the power of software updates? And what are your thoughts on the standard range Teslas? Do you think they offer too much or too little value and features for their price? Curious to hear your thoughts. I know this is a little bit of a random video, but just wanted to get a discussion going down below. So leave those comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see ya in the next one.